Coach B here. One thing about volleyball is we're actually doing volleyball, and so you need a partner and a ball, but I don't have one. So let's see if they're coming here. Hey, partner, with ball, are you here anywhere? Hi, this. Oh, never mind.
Did someone say they needed a ball and a partner?
Yes. So this is Coach Erin. She is going to tell us some rules about volleyball and review something.
Okay, Camp. Good to see everybody again. Hopefully you all have been practicing your single bumps for volleyball. We're going to do a little review here in a second, but there's a couple things I want to talk about first. The first thing is I am using a different ball today. This ball is actually originally a soccer ball, but it is very deflated. So it's not nearly as hard as a soccer ball usually is. You do not want to play volleyball with a soccer ball that's fully inflated or even a basketball because those are way too hard. They will definitely hurt your arm. The other thing that's different, Coach V and I are here in my backyard, in our backyard. We're doing this outside today because what we're going to be doing today requires a little bit more movement and a little bit more space. So we're making sure that we have a lot more room around us. So the one thing that I forgot to mention in our first video is for those of you that wear a watch. If you wear a watch, you may very well want to remove your watch. The reason for that is, especially if you're using a real volleyball or this deflated soccer ball too, and you hit it right on your watch, that can definitely hurt. So we want to make sure we take our watch off if we have a watch on.
And maybe a bracelet or something that can maybe get broken or also hurt your wrist.
Right, definitely, Coach B. If you have some jewelry or anything on your arms, a bracelet or something.
Even earrings, because the ball could hit your ear and then it could hurt it.
That's right. So you want to make sure that you remove any of those things so you're not hurting your arms. So let's go ahead and review what we already learned with the single bump. So remember, let's try our position. Your position is knees bent, feet at least hip width apart, if not a little bit further. Whatever you feel is the most stable as you kind of squat down a little bit. This is going to give you your power is actually your legs as well as your arms. So making sure you're in that position with the bottom part of your body and then the top part of our body. Coach B, where should the top part of our body be? That's right, Coach B. So arms straight out in front of you, palms facing up, one hand on top of the other. I like to crisscross my thumbs. And again, a little bend in your elbow. We don't want them so straight out that they're bending the wrong way. We want a little bend so we have control. Okay, so we are ready. So remember, when you do your single bump, when we practice that, you want to make sure the ball is hitting between your wrist and your elbow on the flattest part of your arm right here. That's going to give you the most control. So let's try that one time before we do partner bump. Okay, so most of you might have noticed that I moved my leg to kind of get myself a little bit more under the ball so I had more control. That's going to be very important when we move into our next skill, which is partner bump. So to partner bump, you need a partner. Anyone can do, but you definitely need some space because the ball is going to be moving a lot more. Depending on how many times you or your partners play volleyball, you might get the ball going all over the place. So again, we want to make sure that we are in a place that we're not going to break anything. We have plenty of space around us and nothing's going to get broken or it's not going to get stuck. We have a low tree right here. Make sure maybe there's no tree right above you or anything like that. So what we are going to do is Coach V and I are going to start close enough together, face to face, put our arms out in front of us, but we do want to make sure that our fingertips don't touch. That's too close, because then you won't be able to move your arms and bump. You don't want to accidentally hit somebody in the face. So Coach V, if you can get into your position, and then I'm going to touch her fingertips and then move back maybe 3 steps. So Coach V and I are about 4 feet apart from our feet. We're both in our position and we're ready to go. So I'm going to throw it to to Coach B. She's going to try to bump it back to me. I am going to move as needed, side to side, front to back, to try to get to that ball and get underneath it. Ready, Coach B? Here we go. Good bump.
I get it.
So Coach B bumped the ball. She had a little bit more of a up and the movement behind her, which caused the ball to go over her head. So we're going to try that one more time to see if we can get it back to me this time.
Okay. Ready?
Move a little bit closer to me. We don't want to be too far apart yet. Ready? Good job. So we got 3 bumps there. That's pretty good. So Coach B bumped it to me. Hold the ball. Coach B bumped it to me. I had to move underneath it to bump it back to her. She bumped it. Then we kind of lost it on the side, but that's okay. We're going to see how many bumps back and forth you can get with your partner. I don't know what the record is, but I guess we could look it up. So if you want to make it a little more challenging, Coach B and I, again, we're very close together. Not so close that our fingertips were touching, but pretty close. If you want to make it more challenging, you take a few more steps back so that you and your partner are maybe 6 or 8 feet apart. That's going to mean that you, when you're bumping the ball, are going to have to control the ball and bump it a little bit harder to get it all the way to your partner. So we're going to try that. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay. Should I move it on?
You can go ahead right there.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to throw it to you. You're going to bump it to me.
Should you always make sure your partner is ready instead of just bumping?
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Coach B said we should always verbally make sure our partner is ready. We should in some way get our partner's attention and say, are you ready? Because we don't want to bump the ball and they're not ready and they take it in the face or something like that. We don't want that to happen. So very good point, Coach B. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into position.
Wait, is this good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Ready? Good bump. Great bump, Coach B. So again, the ball went a little behind Coach B over her head, and that's because her arms kind of carried it back and over instead of arms going out and bumping forward a little bit. So again, you're going to have to play a little bit with your arm position because you control the ball by how your arms are turned, twisted, how far straight in front of you they are, how far down they are. You're going to move how the ball goes. So let's try that one more time.
Okay, let me see. Wait, maybe I should switch to this.
You can try that.
But it doesn't feel.
Then do the other way. Yeah, you want to do what's most comfortable.
Okay.
Ready? Good bump. So we got 4 in there. So I did 2 bumps in a row. And that's because my first bump put it right up above me. And Coach B wasn't going to be able to, I was in the way. She wouldn't have been able to get it. Right. So if for some reason you don't have a partner, like I mentioned in our first video, you can always try to challenge to bump to yourself. And that doesn't mean bump and then have to run back and bump. That means you just stand in one place. You might have to move a little bit, but you bump more straight up in the air. So I'm going to show you how you do that. Again, you're hitting it in the same part of your body between your wrist and your elbow. Ready? So again, the movement, the hit on your arms does not have to be very, very strong. It can just be a little bump, but you did see that I was having to move my legs a little bit, stay a little bit light on my toes. That's important. You want to make sure that in volleyball and in a lot of different sports that you're always kind of on your toes, legs are bent, so you can use those muscles. Okay, camp, this was a little bit more of a challenging video, but I know you guys can do it. Go ahead and move from the single bump with just yourself to a partner bump, bumping with yourself, but multiple times, trying to count how many times you can bump in a row. The other thing you could do if you have no partner and you don't feel comfortable on your own, you can always use a wall and do wall bumps. So that means you hit the ball and you bounce it against the wall. One challenge to this, windows, we don't want to break any windows, but you have to have a wall that's high enough. Our wall is not really high enough. I'm going to try it just to show you, but ideally you want a pretty high wall.
Like a house wall.
Right, like a house, but we want to avoid windows.
Yeah.
but it was definitely too short of a wall for that. But again, you use what you have in your environment. If you have a volleyball, awesome. If you have a playground ball, awesome. If you have a little bit of a deflated soccer ball like this, that works too. So you go out there and do it, camp. We know you can. We're so excited to see what you all are doing. Coach V, I know you got places to go, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind taking that ball while I say goodbye to camp?
Bye!
Okay, Camp Abilities, let's do it. We're doing